Hello there, you ravishing human being you. I'm Chris from Xpert, and today we're going to be checking out one of the most crazy, brilliant, beautiful, and frankly ludicrous laptops I've ever drooled over here at Xpert Towers. It's the fresh new ASUS Zenbook Duo. Looks like a pretty smart but regular sort of standard notebook, right? Well, yeah, at least until you yank off the bloody keyboard and realise there's an entire second full-size display squirreled away underneath. ASUS, you sneaky buggers. So yeah, the new Zenbook Duo serves up more screen space than ever before, making it proper good for multitasking on the move. And what's more, it starts from just $1,499 or 1,699 British punds, and both of those prices are for the 3K version. So let's whip it on out the box, take you on a full tour, and a massive thank you to ASUS for sponsoring this video. So first up, what do you get bundled in this sleek wee box? Besides, of course, that Zenbook Duo. Well, in my box there was also an ASUS power adapter, one of them stylus pen jobbies, and ASUS also bunged in this rather sexy backpack. I'm just off to my next lecture, fellow student chums. Now, in its resting state, the ASUS Zenbook Duo is your typical compact, highly portable 14-inch laptop. It weighs just 1.35 kilos without the keyboard, 1.65 kilos with the keyboard, and it's actually pretty skinny considering what it's capable of. So it's easy enough to bung into a backpack and lug around all day, and also reassuringly rugged if you are transporting it a lot. It does get a wee bit fingerprinty, however, so you'll definitely want to give it the occasional buffing up, keep it looking smart. You've got a sleek minimalist design here, similar to what we saw on ASUS's Zenbook 14 OLED, which I covered at the end of 2023. And yeah, this thing may be a mere 14-incher, but the ASUS Zenbook Duo is stacked when it comes to the ports. So to start with, you've got dual Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, sat there right alongside a full-sized USB-A port. And then if we flip this bad boy around, ASUS has also managed to cram in an HDMI 2.1 port. So plenty of options if you want to hook up an external display to this laptop, but with the ASUS Zenbook Duo that shouldn't be a concern because you don't just have one display, you've got two of the buggers. Now what we have here is a pair of identical Lumina OLED displays. The entry-level setup here on the Zenbook Duo is a full HD resolution for both of those displays, but that can be upgraded to full 3K resolution if you want ultra crisp visuals. Because they're OLED displays, you naturally get fantastic contrast on these things, excellent viewing angles and everything as well, and as you would expect from an ASUS screen, perfectly natural color reproduction as well. So again, ideal for creators who are doing a bit of photo editing, a bit of video editing. Or, you know, if you just fancy kicking back with two movies simultaneously, well, that's perfectly possible. And naturally, both of these are touchscreens, so easy to interact with. And also they max out at 120 Hz refresh. Now, finding the perfect setup here on the Zenbook Duo, nice and easy thanks to the built-in kickstand. This is pleasingly stiff, fnar, so it can be adjusted to a variety of angles. So you can position these displays like so, one above the other. And let me tell you, that's incredibly helpful if you are a creator, you do a lot of video editing, helps to declutter your display, spread things out a bit more. Also means you can get a sneaky bit of gaming on the go during a not particularly enthralling work meeting or while keeping an eye on that inbox. Just makes that multitasking so much easier. And if you happen to be a coder, you can chuck the Zenbook Duo into vertical mode. Again, ideal for that side-by-side multitasking. Of course, I don't do any coding these days. Only kind of Java I smash now is a triple espresso. Am I right? I mean, frankly, I can barely even manage the video editing. And ASUS has also kindly bundled a fold-in sleeve which can be quickly origamied into a makeshift laptop stand. Gotta admit, I'm not entirely convinced I've done that right, but it seems to be holding. Now, one of the niftiest tools that ASUS has added to the Zenbook Duo is Screen Xpert, which can be conjured up with a quick tap of this icon in the bottom left corner. And this serves up all kinds of great tools to make full use of that dual display design. So for instance, you can quickly and easily sync the brightness between the main display and that secondary screen. And naturally, the Zenbook Duo has a built-in ambient light sensor so it can automatically scale the brightness for you. You can also deactivate that secondary display and lock the rotation, but by far the best feature on here is sharing mode. And this is really handy if you've got the Zenbook Duo just spread out flat on a desk and you've got somebody sat opposite you. You can either mirror those screens so you can both browse the same document across a table at work, or watch the same movie if you're traveling by train, or if you've got completely different tastes where you can just use each screen independently and enjoy whatever you fancy. And as you would expect, it's super easy to reposition any apps that you've got going on. You can quickly and easily just flick one up to the top display if you want, and vice versa. And by dragging up to this little top bar here, you can also reposition them in different quadrants. Really make the most of all of that space. You can quickly group these apps as different tasks as well, and then you've got other elements such as, of course, the control panel that you can bring in to quickly tweak the likes of the screen brightness, the volume. You can mute that sound. Now the keyboard snaps into place magnetically and it connects via pogo pins, so as soon as it's slapped on there, it's immediately detected. But it also pairs up with the Zenbook Duo via Bluetooth, so as soon as you snap it free like so, you can continue to type on the keyboard just as if it was still connected. Alternatively, on the edge of that keyboard, you also have a Type-C USB port. So you don't even need to worry about pairing up with Bluetooth. You can actually physically connect that keyboard to the Zenbook Duo, keep it permanently powered up. And that keyboard, gotta say, for something so skinny, actually pleasingly usable. Got a good spread of keys filling pretty much the entire width of the board. The usual shindiggery like a single row enter key and squished cursor keys, but beyond that, no real complaints. You've got 3 levels of backlight in here which you can easily cycle through for working at night. And a surprising amount of travel, again considering how bloody skinny this thing is. And also, the audio that is pumped out by the ASUS Zenbook Duo is frankly obscene. You've got stereo speakers set up here, and as usual, that audio has been fine-tuned by the lovely folks at Harmon Kardon. So that sound is crisp and clear, even if you boost the volume all the way up. And let me tell you, if you do max out that volume, the neighbours won't just be complaining, they'll be bloody moving. Especially if you'd like to watch 2 movies at once. And ASUS has also integrated an infrared camera into that top bezel here on the Zenbook Duo. You've got AI smarts which can help to keep you well framed if you are moving about during a Zoom call or whatever. This can also blur the background, as you can see there, so you remain the focus. And naturally, this camera can be used to recognize your face and unlock the Zenbook Duo when you're booting it up, so you don't have to piddle about with pins or passwords or anything like that. And those AI camera smarts actually come courtesy of Intel's fresh new Meteor Lake processor tech, which powers the Zenbook Duo. And as you can see here, this has an integrated NPU for low latency AI computing. So all of this clever-ass camera tech that you're seeing is handled directly by that Intel processor. You got options ranging up to an Intel Core Ultra 9, and that's backed by up to 32 gigs of RAM. And this bad boy right here is a Core Ultra 7 155H. And some of the new Meteor Lake processors have an integrated Arc GPU with full ray tracing support. So unsurprisingly, the ASUS Zenbook Duo is a bit of a beast when it comes to gaming. If you're into your benchmarking, well, I ran a bit of Time Spy in 3D Mark, and this consistently scored just under 4,000, proving itself a bit of a beefcake. I also enjoyed blasting through a good bit of XCOM 2, while multitasking, naturally making the most of that dual display setup. But to really test out that gaming grunt, I fired up a bit of Forza 5. The graphics defaulted to the high settings, and I found that that frame rate reliably stuck to over 30 frames per second while I was benchmarking, and of course, while I was actually gaming as well. So it was a pleasingly fluid gaming experience, even after a good couple of hours. There was one brief moment during all of this gaming where the Zenbook Duo had a bit of a brain fart and things went completely wonky. Literally lasted a few seconds. That was the only bit of shindiggery that I noticed the entire time. And even if you are gaming for a good couple of hours or so, you've got a dedicated cooling system as always built into the Zenbook Duo. This includes 2 heat pipes and a dual fan setup. So that helps to push out all of that pesky hot air and keep everything running as it should. And even with pretty heavy mixed use, thankfully ASUS has crammed a 75 watt-hour battery inside of the Zenbook Duo, so you can smash through everything you'll need to for a good few hours before you'll have to plug the bugger back in. And that right there, in a nutshell, is the fresh new ASUS Zenbook Duo 2024, an absolutely stunning dual display design, perfect for your bit of multitasking, whether you're a creator, a coder, whatever. A massive thanks again to ASUS for sponsoring this video, and it'd be great to hear your thoughts on this mighty machine down in the comments below. Please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!